Hello, everybody. It is that time again during the week when we get to stamp together. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes before I officially begin to see if anybody will pop on. That's usually my cue. But how have you been? It's been wild and crazy. I've been home for a week and we have snow again. How about you? So, okay, I have somebody on. And say hello. Let me know who's watching. I'm glad you're here because you are my cue to officially begin. It's Kat. It's typically Kat. I love that she's a faithful watcher and I appreciate. And Barbara is here as well. All right, so let's officially begin with good Thursday morning and welcome to Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin. My name's Elizabeth, and you're at my Facebook page called Seeing Ink Spots. Hello, Kayleen is here too. Awesome. So today's class is all about the February Paper Pumpkin Kit, Sweet Springtime. Now, if you were with me last week, I accidentally started this class a week early. I don't know what I was thinking, but yes. So last week was part one of our Sweet Springtime Kit, and this week is part two. And so I'll be offering a few more alternative projects using the kit. So hello, Alicia. Hello, Terry. Good to have you all here. All right. So now that I have begun with our hellos and everything, I'm going to flip my camera. We're going to take care of just a little bit of business, and then we are going to paper craft together. All right. Here comes the hand. Sorry, folks. It's always that painful moment, right? Let's see. Let's switch the camera around. There it is. Let me just kind of lock it in place. All right. Let's see here. Just a little bit more tweaking. Okay, I'll push that back. All right. So, excellent. Today's class, Upstyle. So you're here, you know that one is happening. Awesome. Coming up next week, I will be having a Use It Up class. It's been a couple months since we've had a Use It Up class, but we are going to be using up our celebration tool paper, and we're going to use the Trusty Tools bundle with that. So watch for that. It's actually going to be a video, but I will post it at 10 o'clock in Seeing Ink Spots. We're going to post it in Seeing Ink Spots Backstage Pass, and that will be Thursday at 10 Mountain Time. So look for that. That's coming up. That'll be fun. Also coming up this month, my pickup class will be in the Backstage Pass as well, and it will be the Planted Paradise stamp set. But you could use any stamp set. So I'm just going to use that stamp set. I'm probably going to bring in some greetings of some sort. And I'm going to be using up some papers. I don't know what. But yeah, just bring a stamp set and papers and let's stamp together. And in March, the end of March, my Technique Time class for March, I'd like you all to join me. This will be a beautiful class featuring the Notes of Nature bundle. That's what you'll need, but I will provide the paper that matches that sweet collection and some of the linen, the leather trim, not linen, the leather faux trim and some of the cork dots and lots more. It's going to be a beautiful class. You need to register by the 22nd of March, and you can earn this class free with a purchase of $75 or more on my host code. And that will get you April's Use It Up class too. So you get 2 kits for 1. So that will be fun. So don't forget to sign up for that. You can also get this class for free with a $50 purchase on my current host code, but that won't get you the Use It Up kit. It'll just get you the Technique Time. All right. So that's going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous class. And then in April, I just kind of want to put a little save the date out there for the my Technique Time class. It'll be April 25th and 26th. Register by the 19th, and I'm going to use the Enduring Beauty. It's a stamp set masks and dies. And oh, what fun it is. So you will definitely want to join in for that class as well. All right, enough business. Let's do what we're here to do, and that is to create. So the very first thing we're going to do is I am going to just be using some elements from the kit this time to make a pretty simple card alternative. So I'm using the little ink spot, and I'm getting it all over me. Come on, stay open. Okay. And I'm going to use the greeting that says Springtime Greetings. It's cute. I really do enjoy the combination of fonts here on this stamp. And so just with that early espresso ink spot, I'm stamping right in one of the banners that's part of the kit. Now, that is all the stamping I'm going to do for this card. So let's get this one ready, and let's put a couple dimensionals on the back. So just 1 and 2. That's ready to go. Also in this kit for this card, I'm going to use one of the slimline cards. Now these aren't a full-size slimline. They are 6 1/4 by 3 1/4. So if you're wondering, but the kit also does come with envelopes to match. So that's kind of nice, right? So this will be a nice pairing. And I'm going to use one of the Bunny and Chicks. And Kayleen, I agree. This kit is kind of like a never-ending kit of awesomeness. Really, really excellent, not supplies, but I would say elements in the kit. And the cool thing is the elements are all, there's such a variety to them that they mesh together so perfectly. Sometimes when things are too uniform, it's like, how do I make this look a little bit more interesting? The other thing I'm going to use is the frame. We're going to use the frame. And so the first thing I want to do with the frame is we're going to fold it in half. But I want it to be a clean fold in half. So I'm going to bring my paper trimmer in here. And I'm going to put the blade out of the way. And so this frame is it's about 5 1/4, right? So then that would be 2 1/2, 2 5/8. So at 2 5/8, I'm very gently going to put a little, this is why it has to be gentle, a little score line there and a little score line there. And we're going to fold that in half. But before we fold it in half, I am going to bring in, you could use your dimensionals from the kit, right? But I'm actually going to bring in, just to make things just a little quicker here, some of the foam adhesive strips. So these are in the annual catalog, and these are great if you like to make shaker cards. Okay, I can't even get it out of the package here. There we go. But I'm not going to make a shaker card. I just want a strip down there. So I'm just going to take a piece like so. And you could use dimensionals. There's that skinny edge, but this is already cut narrow for me. And I'm just going to mount this across the bottom. Okay, hopefully that doesn't show. Pretty good. We'll peel this backing off. That's all I'm going to use dimensional-wise for the frame. Okay, and I am going to use a little bit of glue here. So, let's see. I'm going to use just a little bit of glue right up in here. Oh, a lot of glue. Just on that edge. And now what I'm going to do is take my card and I'm going to put those, I'm going to center this, but I'm going to put those fold lines right on the top. Okay, right on the fold of the card. We'll lay this down. So this is giving us a little dimension down in here. Okay, now we'll fold it over. And now I'm going to just kind of, I'm not going to tack the whole thing down because it sometimes makes things not move as well. So I'm just going to put a little glue on the bottom. And then let me just hold it here for a second. But sometimes when there's a little bit of play in here, it helps the card open and shut a little bit easier. So there's that. I didn't want to cut it off, so I just kind of moved it up and over to the other side since the card was printed on both sides, right? Okay, I've got a little bit of glue oozing out there, but I don't seem to have an adhesive remover with me. Bummer, I'll get one. All right, so let's bring our other elements in here. I'm gonna bring my tag and my bunny, and the bunny's gonna kind of sit back in here, just like that. And then I'm gonna bring in 3 of the daffodils here. So I think I'm just gonna put minis on these. Okay, got a mini there, a mini there, and one on this. And so this is a pretty simple alternative. You can see we're almost done with this one. Let's just start adding the pieces for real here. So let's go ahead and just put our little duck and chick. Or it's not duck and chick. Duck and chick is from Friends. Remember Joey and Chandler had duck and chick? This is rabbit and chick. Okay, so I'm just gonna reach that right in there like that. Maybe I'll bring it down just a skosh. Yeah. Whoops. We want the word greetings to show though. There we go. Frame that in there. And now we'll add our daffodils here. I'm gonna do one there. Another one kind of over in here. And then this last one we'll put right there. Hello, Suzanne. It's awesome to have you here hanging out with us. And so there it is. And then I think I would add just a little bit of the linen thread, or actually this is not linen thread. It is it's the Crumb Cake Essentials baker's twine. It's kind of a cotton. And so I can do that. And, you know, I can play with it where I might want a little tie, but I think I'm going to do it small enough. Let me tie it one more time. I want it just a little bit smaller and I don't want to waste it. So I'm going to do just a tiny little bow here. And we're going to put this around the duck's neck. Not the duck, the rabbit. You know, I have a funny story about rabbits. So my parents live nearby Lake Almaden. And in certain times of the year, these ducks will fly in and they'll land on my parents' front lawn. And my mom's like, look at all those rabbits. And she kept calling these rabbits. We're like, rabbits don't quack. They were ducks. But now I've got it opposite of her. So she thought, she didn't think. She just kind of, you know, said rabbits instead of ducks. Look how cute that is to add that right there. So, oh, good. I'm glad Kayleen hooked you up. She is a good friend for sure, right? Okay, so I'm not seeing, I do have some glue dots. I have some pretty big glue dots here with me from a previous kit, but I will use this. And I like to use the hobby blade. And let's see, we're just gonna put that right there. So Suzanne, this is my first project and this is kit only. Let me kind of crinkle this up just a little bit so it doesn't show. And then I'll add my bow right there on his neck. Okay, so it's a duck, AKA rabbit. You heard the whole story. And now we have a little bit of the pearl action here. So I'll use my other take your pick tool and we'll add some of these. So just picking up, my putty isn't really sticky enough anymore. I need to put a new tip on. So I'll go back to my hobby blade, but I think I'm just gonna do, there's a hair in here. We'll just do one here and another one here. And then I think I'll just kind of maybe tap one. Let's see, we'll do a little one. I just don't know, should we do it? Oh, come on. Here, or do we want it? I'm gonna do it right in here. There we go. And there it is. There's our first pretty simple alternative using just elements from the kit. I did sneak in some foam adhesive strips, but that was just for this bottom edge. But you could totally use the edge of your dimensionals. I was just being lazy. So, and look at that. There's a cute little envelope that you can use right for your card here. So there was card number 1. Kind of fancy and fun, but sweet and simple at the same time. I'm glad you liked it, Jolinda and Kat and Terry. All right, we're gonna totally switch gears, and our next card, we're still using elements from the kit, right? I'm going to use one of the boxes, and you can see that I've cut part of the box off here because I used it for my prototype. So we're gonna cut up the box to use it on a card. All right, so it sounds like I'm gonna need a card base. So this is a half a sheet of Petal Pink, and this half sheet is 4 1/4 by 11, and I've scored it at 5 1/2. Welcome, Valerie. I'm glad you're here. Glad you have made it to upstyle your paper pumpkin. All right, so let's give this just a quick fold in half. There is our card base, and let's see here. So with this, what I want to do is I'm going to cut this strip off right here. Well, let's just cut all the white off. So let's just cut all of the white off the bottom. So here are the bottom pieces. Now, I mentioned this. Oh, good. I'm glad, Valerie, that you're here. I'm glad you're here too. So I mentioned this last week that when we made the box in a card, that I saved these because the white in the kits are a little bit different from the basic white. This is a little cooler, and sometimes I like these for either, and you'll see I'm going to use them in this very project here, or I like to use these for greetings. So hold on to these until you're finished with the kit, and then you can toss them. All right, so we're going to do that. Now what I want to do is I want to cut a piece that's as close to 4 1/4 as I can get without cut, I want it to be within the bumps, if that makes sense. So I think what I'm gonna do is, so see this one, I have a scallop. I don't wanna cut right up through the middle of a scallop. I want it to be, so it looks like it's gonna be just a little bit more than 4 inches. So right in there, hopefully you can see that. So as close to 4 1/4 as you can get. All right. So save that. You could use it on something maybe. I'll put that in my stash. I don't keep things after I'm done with the kit. I just can't have all those pieces, but I do until the end. Now, what to do about all these harsh score lines? Well, I'm going to perform a magic trick here. Haha, not too magic, but what you'll want to do is just pick any embossing folder, run it through the embossing folder, and all of these extra score lines are just going to go away. Welcome, Sandy. Happy to have you here, watching for a moment or two. I am upstyling my paper pumpkin, the Sweet Springtime kit. Okay, so any embossing folder. This is the crosshatch from the Basics Embossing Folders Trio. So this is an online exclusive. I would say right now, this is like one of my top 3 most used folders. And so for our Big Shot Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, whatever you're using, I'm gonna use plate 1, then the embossing folder with the folded edge going through first, and then I'm going to sandwich plate number 4 on top. Now, I usually mention this, that if you don't have the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, you'll need your blue plate and your main base plate in your Big Shot, like we used to have. So let's see here. Rose Carey, yay, she's catching me live for the first time from Palmdale, California. Ah, awesome. Glad you're here, Rose and Sandy. Good to have you here. All right, so just running this through off to the side here. And just like that, those funny score lines have gone away. It's just kind of like, even this strong one here has disappeared, but all of the crisscross, okay, easy enough. That's gonna glue right to our card base. So let's just give that. Now I noticed that I have, we have the little punch outs, but don't worry, our card design will end up, we'll have leaves and flowers and things that will cover that up. So let me just ask you guys, do you want to see where we're going with this, or do you want to be surprised? Because here we are so far, like I say, it's like magic. Yes, it is, Kayleen. Isn't that like, oh, nice. It all went away. So tell me, do you want to see it, or do you want me to just make it? As I'm gathering the pieces. So I am going to be using a circle. So Rose says, surprise me. You're the first one, so we're going with your wishes. All right, so here's what I'm going to be using. This is a, and then Terry, she beat you, Terry and Suzanne, Rose beat you to the punch there. So the next one I'll show you, I'll not surprise you, but this one, okay. Any circle, you could punch a circle, you could die cut a circle, just get yourself a white circle. I love using circles in my cards because they break up the lines, all right? This one is 2.5 inches across, so it could be larger or smaller. So we're gonna use a circle. I'm gonna use one of the duck and chick, the bunny and chick. And I'm using one of the banners from the kit as well. But I'm going to bring some other things into this card. The first thing I'm going to bring in are the dies that coordinate with this quarter's paper pumpkin kits. So it's a 4-piece set of dies. If you don't have it yet, I highly recommend these. This is a nice little set of dies. The number is 164396. I believe it's $12 for the 4 dies. The love coordinated perfectly with last month's kit. The daffodil with this one. Now this daffodil coordinates and complements. It does not cut the daffodil stamp image. Then there's a leaf. This leaf will coordinate with next month. And then this label is neutral and it goes with everything. All right, so we're going to use all of these today. So I am going to, for this card, we're going to use the leaf. And I'm going to use some scrap envelope. Let me grab one here. Let's see, here's one. So this is the flap of one of those slimline envelopes, okay? And I am just going to fold this in half. And I'm going to cut the leaf die. I'm just going to sit that in there. We're going to cut it once, and that'll give us 2 leaves. Then I'm going to cut it again so that we'll have 4 leaves total. And I have that done ahead of time because you don't need to sit there and watch me do that. So there's 1, 2. Now remember, I folded this in half, right? So now that means we're going to have 2 with the gingham side up. Okay. And there's the other one. Then the other thing I have cut, I went to my stash of supplies and dies, and I was looking at this cute little simple 5-petaled daisy flower. And so I cut myself a bunch of flowers with, remember these scraps from the box? I used these scraps to cut some flowers. And here I have a whole bunch. I don't know how many I'll use. On my first card, I used 4, but I have a bunch here. Now, where did I get this flower? To me, this was a great flower that kind of, matched that in a fun way. These are the Hooray for Surprises dies. And I used the flower that's in this set, this one right here. I just thought it was a fun match. It's not 5-petal, but it has the same shape petals, so that's kind of where my eye went. And that was my stash. So you need to think about your stash and what you have and you can use. Ginger, welcome. Glad you are here watching. All right, so let's just one more thing to add. I told you this was a fancier card. I'm going to use some of the Petal Pink die ribbon, and this is a combo pack. My tongue is tangled. A combo pack of ribbon from the annual catalog. So you've got this Lucky Limeade. I said that last week. It's lemon lime twist. and then petal pink. So we're gonna use the petal pink, and I'm just gonna do a swoosh, or like a Z or a Zorro swoosh, whatever you wanna call it, on the back of this circle. So I'm just gonna give myself some, come on. There we go, there's some Stampin' Seal. And we're just gonna kind of go, let me turn this way. We're gonna go 1, and then have a little poking out, and a little poking out this other end. So just kind of back, forth, and we'll give this a quick trim. That's all we're gonna do. But now I kind of have to play with it. You take my elements out. It's gonna kind of come right in here. It's a little big, so I'm just going to ease it up a little by just kind of pulling that one in, and then I'll pull this end in as well. Okay. Yeah, that's better. And then I can tame this down. Cool. That's it on our ribbon. We'll put some dimensionals on this. Okay. I agree, Kayleen. It is the perfect ribbon match for this kit. I mean, it's like a bonus when one of them matches, but it's like double bonus when 2 colors in the combo pack match. Yep, and I'm going to use the lemon lime in just in another project here in a minute. Okay, so my circle is going to kind of come. I'm going to have it off to the right just a little bit. That's coming down. So what I'm doing is kind of breaking up that line between the gingham and the floral print here. Okay, so let's put our bunny and chick on. And I'm just going to do that with some dimensionals here. I know 3 seems like a lot, but I don't want it to wobble. Okay, so I'm going to add my bunny and chick. They're kind of my anchor elements to all of this. We're going to pop them right up there. We have just a little bit of stamping to do. We're going to stamp our greeting here, and my greeting is going to kind of come across the bottom like so. This time, I think I'm going to stamp the Happy Easter. Okay. Let me slide that out of the way. That's the early espresso spot that comes with the kit. Happy Easter, just like that. Okay. And we'll put a couple dimensionals on this as well. And I think I'm going to put my dimensionals just on this bottom swoosh of this, because this is going to kind of hang off the side. So it doesn't really need it. But I am going to give it just a little bit of a curl with my finger. I'm just giving the ends. So if you look at it, hopefully you can kind of see. See how I kind of gave it just a little bit of personality. Monica, welcome. Okay, and so I'm just going to kind of reach that and tuck that. Whoops, I don't want to cover the chick's feet. There we go. Just like that. So we've kind of started to base things in. Now let's finish it up with some leaves and some flowers here. So I'm going to grab some minis. I'm going to use glue on my leaves, and I'll use some minis on, and I don't need all these flowers. I was just, cutting a bunch of flowers, and I just kind of got on a roll. But that's okay, because then you can use them on, I still have pieces left from my kit. So I actually had a kit. I had 2 kits that I'm working with. So I made a bunch of stuff, and then I've made a bunch more with this second kit. And then I think I'm going to use one more flower, but I don't think I need every flower to have, all that dimension. Okay, so now let's start just kind of piping some stuff in here, or placing some stuff. I'm going to do a leaf in here. I'm kind of running into dimensionals there. So maybe we'll just, I'm still running into dimensionals. Okay, so we've got one there. I'll have to trim it. I'm going to do another leaf in here. Okay, and I'm going to do kind of a leaf up in this direction and one here. And again, I'm running into dimensionals, but I'll fix that in a minute. And then we're just going to kind of add some flowers and things to our card. Do one here. Maybe this one I'll tuck under. Okay. And we'll do one up in here for sure. And then I'm going to do another one. This one's going to be subtle, but it'll be in the background right in here. Okay. Something like that. Kayleen says, believe it or not, refills are still available and I've ordered 4. I think that's great. I think that's great. Good to hear they are still available. That's fun. Okay, so let's get this stuff mounted. Let's start with this one. And I'm just going to do just a tiny dot of glue on the stem here. And just reach that in. Give it a press. We'll do the same. I think I need to trim the stem off this one because it was knocking into a dimensional. Alicia says, oh, thanks, Kayleen. Going to order more this afternoon. They really are cute. Super, super cute. Okay, tuck that one kind of right in there. And then I'm going to do this flower. Let's see here. We'll tuck this flower kind of behind, right in there. Now it's kind of pinging, you know, it's not sticking because it's going down. There's an extra layer there and the leaves are kind of blocking the dimensional. So I'm just going to reach in with a little paper just to kind of poke some glue in there. And then I'll just hold that down. Okay, I like to use paper scraps as tools. And then this one, we'll glue this one. Just giving it some background here. But not everything has to be on a dimensional, right? Okay, let's do this one's easy. Okay. And we'll come right in here. And I'm going to tuck this one under as well. But I want it to break the line of the scallops. Okay, let's do this one. Maybe I can get, oh good, I can get it in there. I like that. Suzanne says, did you do a paper pumpkin upstyle with the lovely lavender? Suzanne, I did not. I tried, but the month of January just wasn't gonna, and going into the beginning of February, it just wasn't in the cards. However, what's totally crazy is I've done 2 with this. I didn't mean to do one last week. As I was starting, I realized, hey, paper pumpkin, this is supposed to be the first Thursday of the month. And I accidentally did it on the last Thursday of the month. So I said, oh, well, you're going to get a double whammy then. You're going to get a twofer. So I did the projects that I shared last week in my Upstyle are the ones that I sent in to Stampin' Up. Okay, so there you have our card. We are almost done. We need to add some gems. And hello, she's in the house, folks. Wink of Stella is here. And what I like to do is with this kit, I have found myself finding it sweet and kind of charming. I'm going to totally paint the chick, but I've got the bunny ears here. And then, just give a little fleck. Get that extra sparkle going, right? And now let's do some gem work here. So I'm going to, let's just do one here. And we'll do a large. Let's see if this will pick. Oh, it did this time. Large. Actually, let me move this down just a little bit. Oh, come on. Move that down. We'll do 2 there. And then I think I'll do another one. Let's do a large, and let's do it up. Oh, come on. I'm having gem challenges, and we'll do this one way up. It's like, I'm going to do it right there. Tuck it under to hide that little hole. And you could add more if you want. I'm going to refrain. And so there you have it. A little bit fancier, but go through your stash and find a flower that you can mix in with this kit. Here's my other original that I was working off of. So I have a few more gems on this one. So I have 1, 2, 3, and then I have a couple up here. So you could add a couple more if you wanted. So there you have it. What do you think of that one? So we've gone from one extreme to another, kit only to a little bit fancier. So there is our second alternative for today. All right, let's do something completely different. We are going to do a 3D project here, and I am going to use one of the, these are the pillow boxes that you can get in the January to April mini catalog. They're part of the Be Mine Sweet collection, or Be My Valentine, whatever that's called. But these are cool. And so what you're going to want is you're going to want one of those, and you're going to want a 6-inch embossing folder. Doesn't matter which one. Now, we did a project similar to this in my last Studio Ink Spots stamp camp, and I thought these turned out great. So what we're going to do, and I've already done half, is we are going to emboss the box. And let me tell you, when you emboss this box with a 3D embossing folder, whew, is it pretty. So I've already done half. This is the half with the sticky tabs. Now I'm going to do this half. I just wanted you to see how I actually put it through the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine in order to get this done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the embossing folder, I'm going to line it up with these 2 indents right there, right like that. And now I'll run this through the machine. This end, my folded end, is going in first. And again, I'm plate number 1. And notice it's a pretty tight fit, so make sure that you're right on top of it, that you're not crooked at all. And then plate number 4 is going to go on top and right through your machine. Like I say, make sure things are going through perpendicular to the machine, to the roller, so that it doesn't get caught up. Super pretty. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous or what? And so easy. So easy. Now what I want to do with this is I think I'm going to take some greens and some yellow, maybe even a brown, and I am just going to give this a splatter. So now you can knock with a bone folder on the side of your Stampin' Blend, or you can flick, but it really does kind of ruins the ends of your blends, which I've done to many. See, look at that one. Oh my goodness. Surprise, it's ruined. Let's see if we can get any splatter out of it. Nope, it's just falling apart. That's a little funny. This is what happens when you flick too many times. Okay, well, we'll just cover that up. Okay, it's all gone. We'll kind of scoop this out of here so it doesn't get on everything. Too late, already did. All right, and then with the yellow, we'll give a little bit of a, it's just kind of breaking the pattern up just a little bit. We're just adding a little bit of, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me know. Kayleen, are those sad tears for my poor dark Granny Apple? I think I need a new set of Granny Apple. I also need a new set of the yellow. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just go ahead and we're going to fold. And I should probably trained it before I put it through the machine, but I'm just going to kind of get my fingers under those score lines there, just to kind of crisp those up. Okay. fold on all those. This is not a score line, folks. Just FYI. Just on these little curved, partial circular. Okay, and there are 6 of them. And I like to just get my fingernails kind of right in that crease. And once you get it going, then the rest of it comes pretty naturally. Okay, so we are going to fold on that. We are not. Sorry, there's 4 on each. She's losing her mind, folks. I lost it a long time ago. It's been a crazy few weeks, several weeks. Let me just say. Okay. You would think I'd made none of these before, but I've made this box several times now. Okay, come on. Coax it into place. Okay, we're there. Peel your... There's 2 tabs on here that come with the box. I'm just going to use the scary end of the hobby blade. Comes with, I call it the dental pick. It's great for pulling tabs off of stuff like that. So we'll just fold that one in. We'll fold this one in, just like that. The box starts to come together nicely. Okay, we'll do the same thing on this side. It doesn't make it that much harder to fold, Kayleen, but what I should have done, like I did in the camp, is I should have gone through and folded on all my score lines first and then embossed. But it didn't dawn on me until we started folding. Oh yeah, I forgot to pre-fold them. It really does help to pre-fold them before they go through. But, so what I think is cute about this is, yes, you could fold these down and in to form that box, right? There it is right there. But I think this is kind of cute, even open, especially kind of mimicking kind of a springtime Easter baskety kind of thing. So I'm going to use the lemon lime twist ribbon here. And you could almost even use 2 of these ribbons together, the pink and the green. But I'm just going to use the green for now. And I'm just going to do a fairly large bow with some long tails. I don't know. There's just something about little bows that makes me feel like it's just too little. Okay. So I am bringing this ribbon around, all the way around. And just to note, my flaps are opening towards the back. Okay, so they're sealed. My edges are in the back. That way I have a smooth transition here in the front. Alicia says, yes, that's what I do, is she pre-folds. Yes. Oh, I needed that reminder. Okay, so I'm just doing a regular old bow here. Okay, got glue on my fingers. And there you have it, just keeping it kind of sweet and simple. Let me even up my ends just a little bit here. There you go. So there's my box that is started. Now let's make it and decorate it. Let's see what I have here. So I'm going to use first, we need some white paper. Let's see, let's use one of these pieces here. Okay, or you could use basic white. Trying to see where I put my basic white. I know I have some here, but we'll use this for now. And I'm going to use the Early Espresso. And I'm going to stamp the chick. This little chick is so cute. And we'll just stamp it down here in the corner. And I'm going to use Daffodil Delight in both light and dark. And I'm going to use dark petal pink and light crumb cake. And so I'm going to color the bunny and the chicks, several of them today. But once you see me color the one, the other ones will just say, go back to when we first did that one. Okay, now you thought that this one is really bad. This one's bad too, but not as bad as my granny apple tip. Look at that one. It's pretty mangled, but it still works, kind of. But it's good for just swirling on some color. I'm just trying to get a base color going in of some Daffodil Delight. I think that I know what I need to put on my next order, and that would be Daffodil Delight and Granny Apple Green blends, because they'd be looking really, really bad. And I'm just kind of coloring a little bit of the dark daffodil here in kind of the direction that the feathers would be on this cute little chick, right? And I'm going to bring in a little bit of crumb cake and just kind of tap that right into the areas where I was adding the dark daffodil. So we're just getting a little of both. And I'm trying to stay away from his eye, just kind of leaving that a little bit. There's a little bit of wisp of yellow in there, but not a lot. Now I'll go back to my light daffodil, and I'm going to pull that color through. So I'm going to go over it, and I'm going to pull it through the rest of the chick here. And hopefully that makes sense. Kayleen says the stamp set is great with the bunny and chick images. Yes, I really think these are sweet. And I didn't have anything like it in my stash, so I really appreciate it. This is dark petal pink. And I may even add just a little bit in and throughout his body. Okay, so here's my chick, and Chick is going to make an appearance in a couple more projects today, but I wanted you to see how I color that. But then I'm going to go ahead and we will use our paper snips to fussy cut that out. So I have a chick right there ready to go. And also I'm going to use the leaf die. And I have die cut myself an old olive leaf. Okay. And let's see, what else did I die cut? I die cut a bunch of things here. I die cut the daffodil. So using the daffodil die from the Love of Spring, I cut, this one is Lemon Lime Twist. And I've also cut one in Daffodil Delight. So what I'm going to do, so now you see where I've got those pieces. I'm going to keep this one full, and then this one here, I'm going to come in, and we're going to just snip the stem right off. And I'm going to glue this one here. Okay, just a little bit of glue. And there you have it. Pretty easy. And then if you want, you can take your daffodil and add just a little bit more, just kind of pump up these little lines here that's Stampin' Up! Included on the die. That was my dark daffodil. And then I'll take the light and kind of blend that just a little bit better. So I'll pull that through the flower. And I'll hold this up close so you can kind of see. Now the cool thing is you have to allow the blends to do their work. So give them time to blend, and you come back to them and you're like, man, that looks pretty good. Okay, so I also have used, I tell you, I have a lot of circles on hand. This is a small circle from, not the smallest, but a smaller circle. This one is about 1 5/8 across. And I have from Stylish Shapes. And then I have a tag here from Something Fancy. So, and this is crumb cake. So both of these were leftovers on my desk. This was also leftover on my desk. So we are just going to use these pieces. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to stamp the Welcome Baby. Okay. And I'm going to stamp it as far over to the right as I can. Just like so. cute. Again, that combination of these two fonts is still super cute. Did you say that the dies, these dies, I believe these are still available, Alicia. I have not looked, but maybe Kayleen knows. She's good at that. I hope these are still available. I've really like them. Okay, so let's just assemble all of this now. I'm going to assemble my tag. So I'm going to do a couple dimensionals on my tag, on the circle. But notice I didn't do it over here on this welcome baby side because it's going to hang over the edge. Okay. I'm just going to let this kind of dangle off the side. And now my greenery here, we'll glue this in. And notice I'm gluing just the end. I do that because I want there to be some freedom. So I want it attached, but I want the leaf, it doesn't need to be all glued down and then feel a little bit stilted and, you know, it just gives it a little movement, a little play. And then we'll take our daffodil and chick. So let me get chick in here first. So chick is going to come right in here. And then our daffodil is just going to kind of play right in there, like so. And I think I'm going to glue chick on. He's going to be partially glued on and partially dimensional. So there's a little dimensional action there. And then we'll kind of glue right in here. Get him on there. And of course, you can give this little chick a little bit of sparkle with Wink of Stella if you want. Again, I'm going to glue just the stem, but this is going to kind of come in and come around. Oh, that's a cute little tag. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, now we'll add this to our box here. We're just going to add that right there into the tag. And so like you say, you could leave this open with a whole bunch of crinkle paper coming out the top. That would be fun. Or you can seal it. It just depends on what you want to do. I'm going to use a little bit of linen thread. I do have a little bit of the thread left from the kit, but I need it for another project. So I've gone through all of that. So we're just going to use a little linen thread here. And what I like to do when I'm doing tags like this is I take a piece that's about 12 inches long. Okay. I love linen thread. Thanks, Karen. I'm glad you think it's cute. Kayleen thinks it's cute too. Thank you, folks. It's amazing. It's sweet, it's cute, and it's because of the brilliance of the design behind the kit. You know, it really is a powerful kit. And I don't say that about all the kits, but this one, I will agree. Carol, adorable demonstrator from St. Joseph, Michigan. Love your card style. Oh, thank you. That is very sweet of you to say. Makes my day. Glad you are here. We have done a couple cards so far. I will show all the cards that we've done again at the end. But right now we're just doing, you know, just taking our elements from the kit to a little bit of a 3D action here. And I'm using up some scraps that were on my desk. Okay, so I've just done, I didn't even say what I was doing, sorry. I did a half hitch through the hole on my tag there. And now I'm going to take both strands of my linen thread, kind of even them out, and I'm just going to tie them in one knot. I agree, Kayleen, these dies that are going to match, that quarterly will, you know, coordinate with the kits for a quarter. I think it's a really good idea. So now you could add some Wink of Stella. You could add some little gems to this, but this would be cute. You don't have to do Welcome Baby. You could do Happy Easter. You know, you could just kind of stamp your Happy Easter image a couple times. But I just love the simplicity of little dies with the chick. Cindy Howard, hi Rose, I'm late, but I'll watch from the beginning later. Here from North Dakota. Hey, glad you're here. You can always watch the replay. Speaking of replays, I'm going to backtrack here for just a second. Last week, I did do an Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin a week early. And I showed how to do these two projects that I shared with Stampin' Up! Earlier. But let me go to this comment here. Rose Carey says, Elizabeth, I've been a demo off and on for 23 years, and you truly are one of my top 3 designers. That's scary. Thank you. I love everything you do. That is super sweet, Rose. I greatly appreciate it. I've just shared your video. Yes, that I love too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank goodness for replays. That is right. Karen says, I agree 100%. My customers are loving that they can use them with all 3 of the kits. So Karen is talking about the dies. And the nice thing is, you know, sometimes the other add-ons like cards and different things, those were great too. But this is I like that they're exploring new ideas. Karen, I do believe they are doing it again for the next quarter. And if I remember correctly, I thought they said they were doing it for the year. I don't remember. I could have been dreaming. Okay, so you can go back to last week's Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin class and learn how to put together the peek through flap card. Okay, there was the peek through flap card. And then this one here is you've got a belly band, and then inside is a card in a box. So I do show how to put this one together if you're interested in that. So that you can go back and see. Let's see, I have 2 more projects here. This time I'm going to show you what I'm making, since that's what some people were requesting last time. But I am bringing in some other product here. I am going to start with an Early Espresso card base. And I chose Early Espresso because that is one of the colors in the kit here. I know when we think of this kit, we think of the petal pink and the lemon lime. But Early Espresso is in there. So I'm going to start with that card base. And then I also have a 4 by 5 1/4. So let's work with this 4 by 5 1/4 first. And I'm going to do some more embossing. And you can emboss with whatever folder you want. But I'm going to emboss with, I don't even remember the name of this one. It's a wood grain, timber, I don't know. What is it called? Anybody know? But I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put it in this way so that my wood grain is going the length of my card, because my card is going to be a portrait style. And my card base, I showed it to you, but it's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so this is going to go through the embossing machine, fold edge in first on plate number 1 with plate number 4 on top. Here we go. Slightly crooked going through the machine. Not good. All right, here this is. Come on, pop out. Look how fabulous that looks. You're like, it just looks like a brown piece of paper. But look at that, all that fun, yummy texture. Okay, so we're gonna do just a little bit of work here, and then I'll show you what we're making. Okay, so we have our card base here. Just burnishing it with my bone folder. And then my embossed piece is going to glue right on top. I like doing this. I like doing a tone that, the same color on color. It's just kind of something I've done probably in the last, couple years. It's fun to put a different color there, but sometimes it can be a lot. So this is one way of, giving your card a little bit more visual texture, physical weight, so it's not too flimsy, right? And by the time, and then you can also add like a white inside, then my card base is nice and balanced, all right? But it's just a cool way of letting the focus go to your focal point rather than to other colors and things. So that's just kind of my tip of the hour here. Okay, other things I'm going to be using. I am going to use one of the card bases here, and I'm going to use the Countryside Corners dies, and I'm going to use the second one, okay? So of all of these, this is the second largest, and what I'm going to do is this card came because I had extras. I had actually cut the bunnies for the flap, the peek through flap card. So I had this side as extra. So you're going to need, if you want to do this card, just die cut yourself one of these panels here. And so I have that right here. Okay, you don't need to wait for me to do that. I've already done it. I like these Countryside Corners dies. They're very, you don't have to have the stamp set. To me, this is just a great neutral for having different shaped tags and labels and things. So a great little product. So there is that. Let's see, for this card, I'm also going to be using one of the labels here. And so this is one of the labels cut from the Love of Spring dies, and I die cut it from Basic White. But what I love about this die is that little poked stitching line. It's fabulous. It's a great little detail. And I'm going to be using the dies even more. So with the leaf die, I have cut myself 2 lemon lime twist dies, and then we're going to do some stamping. And let's see, we're going to stamp with the bunny and the chick, and we're going to stamp them with Early Espresso on white. Okay, let's see. I cannot figure out what I did with my white paper. I know I brought it out here, and now it's gone. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, it's gone, but I have this little scrap here that I said don't throw away. So you're going to need to stamp 3 chicks and 1 bunny. So I'm going to stamp 1 bunny. You've seen me stamp the chick, but I'm going to stamp the 1 bunny here. Maybe I'm going to do this way. These little lids, unless you take it all the way off, they're kind of flopping around. Okay, here goes my bunny. Let's see, is it going to fit? It's a tight fit. It does, it fits this way. There we go. Okay, just barely. Okay, so there's my bunny, and we're going to color the bunny and the chick and 2 more the exact same way. So I'm going to color the chick the same way I did before. So I'm not doing anything new on that. You've seen that. But let's color this bunny. And let me show you the colors I'm going to use. We're going to use Crumb Cake. We're going to use Petal Pink. We're going to use SU 100 and SU 200. So there's the SU 200. I guess that stands for Stampin' Up. And there's the SU 100 and the SU 200. Okay? And there's my other Petal Pink. Alrighty. So I'm going to start with Petal Pink, light. And I'm going to color the bunny's muzzle here. And I'm going to come into the bunny's ears. Okay, so one thing I will say, stamping a greeting on this white is okay, but blending on this white, the Basic White is much more better. That was light. Here is dark. I'm going to come in here, up around his nose and the inside of his ears. And I'm starting at the base where I want it darkest, and then I'm dragging it upward. Do it a couple times. Just let those inks blend. Okay, and I'm going to do maybe just a skosh down here in his tail. Okay, moving along to Crumb Cake. And I'm just going to kind of let me use the bullet, not the bullet end, but the brush marker end. And I'm just going to kind of swoosh the color in the direction, just like we did on the feathers, kind of in the direction that the fur would grow, right? And I'm just trying to get a base color of Crumb Cake in here. But my Crumb Cake tip is as jacked up as the yellow. Not as bad as the Granny Apple. So yes, I need some new Crumb Cake. New Granny Apple. New Daffodil. Okay. So I've got some, a base of the light crumb cake in here. Now I can kind of come in with my bullet tip and give it a little bit more. And so you can do as much or as little blending as you want. Just kind of drawing in some of these lines. Now under his chin would be a little darker from shadow, right? And then down his back, I'm just going to kind of highlight some of that. Again, I'm kind of staying away from his tail. I just kind of want it to be a little cottontail. I don't even care if that's not natural in nature. I'm doing it anyway. It's my card. Okay, so just kind of scribble, scribble, scribble. Come in with your other colors here. Now, with the SU 200 and the SU 100, just kind of know, I scratch them first to go, okay, which one's darker? So the 100 to me is darker. So these two are sold as a pair. And I'm going to come in, okay, just a little bit here and there. Not too much. You can kind of come down his back a little bit. And I know there's a lot of contrast in here right now. And that's okay. And I'm going to come in here and dot a little bit more. You're thinking, man, that rabbit is getting ugly. But wait until it's all blended. It'll be cute and sweet. Maybe just tuck a little bit in here. Go on top of his nose. So those are my darker colors. Now I'm moving to some crumb cake. This is dark crumb cake. I'm just going to use that to kind of pull and blend some of these crazy colors here. So I should have maybe told you that this rabbit's going to be darker than you think. But I just like to get that light crumb cake in there first. It's kind of like just kind of greasing the pan in a way. And I'm not getting too crazy with my dark. Just come in here. And then just keep working that in areas where you had those darker colors. Keep working it, keep pulling it inward. Pull that color inward. If you go out of lines, not to worry. We're going to fussy cut it out. Now I'm going to come back to my light. Just kind of blend that in so I don't lose all of the light, right? Pull that color. Pull that color. Okay, now you're going to think this is nutty, but I'm going to come in with my petal pink. And what's interesting, when you do a lighter color onto a darker color, it almost works like a color lifter. But I'm just adding in some warmth to all of this at the same time. Okay, maybe just a little bit of crumb cake down here in his tail. And the last thing I'm going to do is paint his ears, his muzzle. And it's interesting because there is a little color in Wink of Stella, right? And it does blend and do a little, you know, it just kind of makes a little magic there. And so there's my rabbit. Let me show you the one I have done and cut out. Okay. Let me add a little wink to this one. I haven't done that yet. But so you would not die cut, but fussy cut your rabbit and 3 chicks. So here's my rabbit. Okay. And my 3 chicks. While I have Wink of Stella out, I'm going to give them a little bit of just kind of right in their face. That way the bunny and the chicks have a little commonality there. That's all I'm going to do blend-wise. And now I said we're going to take all of these elements here and we are going to make this cute card right here. Okay, so we have a little bit more work to do. This is a fancy card. It's definitely a stepped up card. So first things first, we're going to take the panel here that we started, and I'm going to do a little stamping on this. This is just some copy paper that I have under me for scratch paper. I'm going to use a crumb cake ink pad and the daffodil image from this set. Okay, and I've got some, hold on, I need my adhesive remover. I had some, a Post-it note on there, and so it was leaving a little stickiness. So I'm gonna do the daffodils like right here. And I'll do another set just kind of right behind it. And let's do one more. It's kind of coming this direction. And let's color these in. And I'm not gonna do like a lot of fancy coloring in on this. I'm just gonna lay down some quick color. So I am gonna use, let's see here, my daffodil again and some of the greens I have here. Let's see, this is light old olive, perfect. And I'm just gonna do a quick, filling this in. Just brushing a little bit of color. I'm not going to worry about a whole lot of blending and all of that just because this is a background, but I wanted a little subtle bit of color in my background. So that's what I'm doing here. There's that. That's all I'm going to do with the green, and then with the daffodil, just a quick fill of color. Yeah, who says you can't color on a patterned piece of paper? But it will make a little bit of a difference to fill it in just a little bit. And I'm not even doing perfect coloring, perfect. I'm just, keeping it in the lines, but it adds just a little bit of a softness to it. And then you can come in and do just a little. I'm just kind of following the lines that Stampin' Up! Has given us. And then maybe inside the cup. Just a little action here and there. A little more depth. Okay, I'll show that to you up close. So kept it easy. Easy, easy, easy. And I still have more of that Post-it note. Okay, that is my background for that. Now, there's one more thing we have going on. Let me kind of show you what's going on here with my background. Is I have, definitely, you can see the leaves are in there. So we've got those. We've got our rabbits. We've got our chicks. But I want to do some of that Easter grass. And I did some Easter grass. Definitely, I did the Easter grass in the box in a card there. But there's also Easter grass in this project here. I added my own little Easter grass to this little vignette on our card here. And so let me show you how we're going to do that. I still have leftover. So this is tissue from the kit, and I have folded it in half again, and in half again, so that it makes just kind of a nice, tight little cut right here, so that I can take a pair of straight scissors or my paper trimmer and just start cutting little snips of tissue like that. Or back in the day, Stampin' Up! Carried fringe scissors. I hope you held on to yours. Okay, so that's how I like to make my own Easter grass. And I never, ever, ever will buy that plastic Easter grass again. Only crinkle paper, because there's something about that plasticky Easter grass that is like bunnies, and it replicates, and it's everywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to open these up. See, look at that. You get these nice long strips, kind of like spaghetti, like Easter grass. The other thing you could use is if you have a paper shredder, just put it in and then pull it out, Just make sure you empty all the other stuff so you can get to it easily. So you have all these pieces, right? So to make life easy, we're going to take a piece of tear and tape from the kit, and I'm going to run that across the bottom here. Okay, get your dental pick out. See how easy it pulls those layers off? Now take your grass here, and it doesn't matter how great this is. You're just going to kind of weave it back and forth, kind of like you're just making loops, big loops, and then we'll cut this apart and we'll crinkle it up. And we're going to go all the way across. And if it's uneven and whatever, it's totally fine. No one's going to be the wiser because you're going to crinkle it and clip it anyway, right? So see how crazy it's getting right here? That's okay. I didn't even go in order, meaning I kind of went back. I backtracked a little bit. Okay. And let's see, I think one more piece will do it. So now you could obviously omit this step, but I just thought it was too cute not to show. And so this is a little fancier card. Maybe you're sending this to somebody who totally appreciates getting a hand-stamped card. Okay, now with your paper snips, just come in here and trim these bottom pieces off for sure, because we don't want those to show. And then just clip these apart. Okay, trim them, and then just kind of crinkle them. And there you have your own thing, and you can kind of move them around and get them just how you want them. Like I'm going to separate this loop right here. Cute, 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 cute. And this one's a little long. Okay, so that's it on my Easter grass. Let's kind of get those out of the way. Now let's assemble. Let's put dimensionals on the back of this layer. And I'm going to do 5. One in the middle there to keep it from sagging. Okay. All right, get that one off. And let me bring in the original here. We'll kind of work off of that as our guide. So this is going to set over to the right side, just like so. Okay. And I'm going to put my leaves in here. They're going to go in back, but I'm not going to put them on just yet. I'm going to start with the bunny. And the reason I'm starting with the bunny is because he's the largest of my focal images. So let me put him in, and then I will tuck the leaves in where I want them. So let me just kind of part the grass a little bit here. And so you can see that the bunny here is going to cover up that kind of some of that stuff that looks a little weird on the bottom. Let me trim this piece of grass. Get out of there. So now I feel I like where he is. Now I feel like I can put the leaves in. Okay, we'll just have, and I'm going to do it behind the grass. One there, and then this one. Again, under the grass. And it's a little full of grass right there, so I think I'm going to trim some of this away. This one right here is going goodbye. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to angle this one down a little bit. Cool. Now my chicks, I have dimensionals on these already. We'll just start with that one. Little family of chicks. This one is going to be off the edge over here. And this guy's right here. Okay. He's got some friends in the garden. You know, it'd be really cute in this set would be a carrot. Little carrots would be cute. Okay, now greeting, gems, and a little bit of twine. So greeting, we're going to say use the springtime greetings one. Or you could use Happy Easter or a completely different one from whatever you have going on in your stash. But I'm going to use the ones here in the kit. Okay, just stay straight down, straight up. There's that. And so this is going to come over here. It's going to be partially glued and partially dimensionaled. So what I'm going to do so that I know where it actually goes, I'm going to put my dimensional on my card base rather than trying to put it on here and going, oh, do I have it? It's just easier here because if I put it too far in, then it's going to be half up on this layer and half down there. And I want it to be level. So that's why I put my dimensional on this layer. Okay, so we'll add our greeting and just make sure it's straight. And let's add some of that baker's twine that was part of the kit. Have just a little bit left. So I'm just going to tie a bow here. Big and awkward right now, but you know, play with it, get it to the shape that you like. Oh, but I hate it when it has a bunch of twists in it. So, got to do it over. Hopefully we won't get so many twists this time. That's better. Okay, and we'll just cut it so it's fairly even. And I'm going to stick this in with a glue dot. Let's see, what did I do with my glue dots? Well, in looking for the glue dots, I found little gems that came with the kit. No glue dots, so we're just going to use glue. I don't know where they are. I don't know how I lose things so easily. It's like I'm only in a 2-foot space. So a little glue dot or a little glue blob on the knot there. And I'm just going to kind of lift this up and we'll tuck that right under the little greeting there. And that will set up once the glue dries. And then, you know, have some fun adding the gems, these little white gems. You know, the nice thing about these white gems, they're cool, but you could totally use your blends to color them if you wanted to make them a different color. Whoops, come with me. Here's that one, and we'll do one more kind of up in here. We'll do a large. I think I'll do it over here. We'll do it here. That's where it looks good. And then you could flick with Wink if you want a little added sparkle, which I did on my original. But there you have it. So a stepped up, more Avid style card using elements from the kit, but focusing on the, definitely focusing on the stamps in the kit this time. So there's that. All right, I have one more project to share with you today. And what we're going to do is we are going to use one of the card bases here that came in the kit. And we're going to use one of the chicks from the kit. And I'm going to put this on the card base. Now, this card, you guys, is really a spin-off. I am just going to add to the design that is in this kit. I'm sorry. This is a brilliant little card here. I love the elements. And so I'm going to go with it, but I'm going to just ever so slightly change it up a little bit. So here's my chicks. And I probably should have stamped this before I did this. Oh, darn. Hopefully I can stamp it and it'll be okay. Okay. So we're going to set this on the card base. I'm not going to set it center. I'm going to go up just a little bit higher. Okay. But I'm going to center it right left. I say that and then I didn't do that. I set it down a little bit askew. Okay. That looks better. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the welcome baby, but I just want the word baby. Okay, so let's see. I have my cleaner here. Let's clean the image. Get it good and clean, get it dry. Okay. Now I'm with the spot. I'm going to ink up just the word baby. Hopefully I'm not getting any on the welcome. Okay. Then I'm going to stamp it down here. Oh, I hope I can. I got a dimensional in the way. Just kind of right down there. Oh, I got some welcome. Shoot, queen. I thought it was clean. Oh, darn. I'll fix it. Don't worry. We can fix it. We can make it work. Okay. Now, I've used the word love, and this is what I'm having a hard time. I'm like, I know I had all those pieces. Where did they go? So, I've cut the word love from, I just don't know what happened to all of them. I cut it from white, but my white paper, I cut it 3 times from white paper, but my white paper had it had the adhesive on the back, okay? So I've got a stack of 3 together. So hopefully you totally get how to do that. And I'm going to set this so that it kind of hangs out right here, okay? So I'm kind of framing the word baby, and my E kind of frames up in that little sculpted area right there, that notched out spot. All right. So I might have to, I have one more of these. Okay, bear with me, folks. Oh, I have 2 more. We're gonna try this again. Don't worry, I'm still gonna use that for something, but I'm gonna try this again. Okay, let's clean that off all the way, because I want this to be just right. We're live here. Okay, we're gonna mask the right way. You know, sometimes we like to make shortcuts and then we get that, right? So don't do what I just did. Okay. Now I can ink that all up, pull the tape, and we'll stamp the word baby one more time, right down there in the corner. Nice. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so sorry, dude. Well, here, I've got another one of these card bases. No, I don't. I thought I did. Okay, well, gonna have to pull this one off. Okay, do you guys know this trick? Just go in there with your paper snips and cut right through your dimensionals. Okay, just like that. That way that will cut off. You can still use this. I'll cover that with something. And now you've got these in the way, yet they'll roll off pretty easy because they are not set. Look at that, card base all ready to go. I want to know how many of you actually end up taking some things apart and having to replace, or is it smooth sailing from start to finish on each project? I end up having to take some things apart quite often. Okay, hopefully I'm not alone in that. Okay, look at that, we're already caught right back up. Okay. Just make sure we're putting it on the right direction. Yep. And there you have it. Okay, I like that much better than with the goofiness. So here's the word love, again, 3 times, and I used adhesive sheets in there, so that adhesive sheet gives you an extra little bit of, you know, you get an extra added little bit of layer in there as well. So this is my, and I didn't want adhesive sheet on all of the back, and let me tell you why in just a second here, but I'm going to just put a pin in my this is a precision little bottle here that you can just, you know, it lets out a little bit more, it lets out a little less glue, but in a more, you know, you can do it in some tiny little spots, more direct, so more precise. Okay, so I'm doing just a little bit of glue, and I'm doing it on the tops of the letters because that's where it's going to be touching the paper. That's why I didn't want adhesive on the entire back of this, because I don't want it to stick to the green layer. I only want it to stick to the petal pink layer. So I'm just framing the word baby. And the reason it's nice and thick is so that it can cantilever over and not need any dimensional behind it. Hopefully that makes sense. So this is a baby card. And I'm going to use the daffodil die. And I have cut myself 3 of the daffodils in lemon lime twist. And I've cut 3 in granny apple. Okay, so let's see. There's 1, and we're gonna need the wreath. That's why I say we're gonna follow Stampin' Up's. I mean, that is such, I love that. The chicks being surrounded by the wreath here, okay? So I'm going to lay the wreath down, something like that. And I'm going to lace these in and throughout the wreath here. And so I wish I had I pulled them apart to show you the 3, but we're just gonna kind of have some fun filling this in and layering this around. It's just a matter of figuring out where they fit nicely. I had it all nice, of course. So there's that. So we're just kind of working on this. I'm going to bring this one, I think, down in through here. Okay. So I'm trying to hide that stem so that it's within the wreath itself. So we're just flushing the wreath out. We're just making it a little more full than what it was. Okay. And maybe you're going to reach in from the inside of the wreath, and maybe it's going to come from the outside. It just takes a little bit of play. To get it just the right way. Let's see, I feel like we could use one right up in here, but I think I'm going to use this one. Okay, you're getting the idea, hopefully. And I don't know that I'm gonna fussy with this. You might see it finished in a picture. Well, you will see it finished in a picture, rather than trying to get it all put together. Oh, I had it so perfectly, and it was just a nice, lovely ring of flowers. But it's coming. It's coming along here. But you get the idea. You're just going to make a nice little ring of flowers, and maybe these two are kind of grouped in here. They are. Okay. So I will finish this and surprise you with a photo in just a little bit here, but I just don't want to sit here and totally like waste your time trying to monkey with this, because it's going to take a little finagling to get it just the way I like it and find how I had it a minute ago before I pulled it all apart. And I don't have another one as, you know, like a prototype to work off of, because this is the last wreath that I had. But anyhow, you get the idea. We're going to just do a nice fun wreath around the chicks. And then I've got a double looped bow here. This is the lemon lime twist ribbon. Okay. And I've cut it down. So here is the full width of it, but I just cut right down the middle of it, and look how fun and delicate. And I just pulled my entire wreath off. Okay, I'm just going to pull these off for right now. You get the idea. You're going to just make a nice, fun, full wreath. And then I'm going to add a bow to it. And then I have another actual linen thread. So we're just really zhuzhing up the bow here. Okay, getting a nice, fun Tammy bow in there. Tammy Wilson bow. Okay, hopefully you get the idea. And I will surprise you and have this all up on my blog tomorrow and in my in Facebook. But we're going to make a really cute wreath around this. We're going to add some of the gems. We're going to sparkle it up, and we will have the most precious baby card. All right. So this is homework. You're going to come back and check it out. My homework, your homework to come and look at it. So, but I just don't want to sit here and spend too much time monkeying with this just to get it just the right way. All right. So hopefully that gives you enough, of an idea. And let's just take a look at what we've done today. We have, let's see here. Where's that first little card? We have a kit only card. Love this cute little card right here. Sweet and simple. Okay. We have our stepped up card, using the box, but getting rid of the score lines through the magic of embossing. We had a cute little 3D box here. Okay. And of course we had our springtime card with the blending and making our bunny grass, our Easter grass there. And then my homework, that one's in there. And then also I did give you, I'll let you see, take another look at these, and mentioned that you could find last week that I did this class a week early. So, which is good because these took a long time to kind of put together and show. So hopefully you've enjoyed that today. I'm glad that you were here watching. Share this video, tell your friends about upstyling, and everybody is welcome. I will see you next week for our Trusty Tools Use It Up class in the Backstage Pass. Not a member of the Backstage Pass? Ask me how you can be. It's really, really easy and fun. I will see you guys later. Thanks for being here. Oh, I missed a whole bunch of comments. They didn't keep scrolling. I'm sorry I didn't reply to any of those folks. Oh my, it stopped at Karen's about the dies. Okay, so I'm just scrolling through. Oh man, whole bunch of them. Well, hello, Claudia. I missed you popping on. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Kayleen, Terry, every one of you for being here. Sorry about those comments. They stopped scrolling. I hate that when it does that. All right. Hey folks, let's meet again next week. See you later. Bye-bye.